Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. My name is Janine McGowan, for anyone who's new, and I design cross stitch as the Blue Flower. This is my channel where I talk about cross stitch and anything else that comes to mind, and I have really been needing this meetup, particularly this last couple weeks. I've got the Jingle Ball coming up, and as happens before every event, and the fact that I'm doing something new this time and teaching a class means I get really anxious. So I've been in a bit of an anxiety spiral the last couple weeks, and so I've been trying to focus on very positive things, one of which is certainly the chance to meet up with you. So I really appreciate that. I've also gone very low key this weekend. I've got my my morning hair and my cozy sweater, so we're just focusing on the joy this weekend, and you are a big part of that, so thank you. Jumping right in, we've got stitching in action, and first up is Moonlight Sampler. This was stitched by Nancy, and I love the way she changed it. She made the daughter a little bit more representative, the figure a little bit more representative of her daughter, and also the dog she changed to match their Dr. Raj, who sadly passed away earlier this year. Nancy said that most of her color changes were driven by the fabric color, which is probably the most common reason for changing colors, honestly, because every fabric is a little bit different and you just never know. But she said that changing those colors gave her confidence to do more color changes in the future. So absolutely well done, Nancy. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Way to get properly drunk with power, and I toast to you with my morning water. So thank you again, Nancy. Next up, we have Gloria. Gloria stitched the Christmas Hippo, which was the free ornament from last year, and that is on the website if anybody wants to get it and stitch it. And I love the changes she made. She put a little pom-pom at the end of the hat, which looks really good. And then she said she specifically chose a backing fabric, which not just had hippos, but had the iconic sort of bird on the back of the hippo image. And I really missed an opportunity here. I told her this. I should have designed a bird on the back of the hippo, you know? That would have been perfect. So something to keep in mind maybe for next year. Thank you very much, Gloria, for sharing this. And then last up, we have Gather with Joy, stitched by Julie. She used the current year's date since that's when she's finishing it. And I love this design. I love the way it came out. I love the colors. It always makes me happy, and I'm particularly aware of seeking joy. I also love this design because I'm so often asked, how does your design process look? And I think this particular chart shows an element of that, which is that very often the idea in my head changes as I'm going along. And so you can see in this one, it was originally a band sampler, a straight up classic band sampler, and it sort of morphed, but you can still see kind of the three lines with the different motifs, and then the way that they changed as I got drunk with power and started wandering all over the place. So again, great stitching by Julie. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. If you're stitching a blue flower design and you want to share it, I'd love to see a photo. And if you are looking for inspiration, always on the website, you can go to the Stitching in Action page, and these three will be up there shortly as well. So thank you. What I'm stitching, I've been working on the Greyhound Santa from Dirty Annie's, but I haven't had any stitching on that since the last video because I've been model stitching. So we'll get back to that. But I have a finish to show, which is going to be tricky because we're limited in space, but this is the DMC Greyhound design that you've seen me working on for a long time. Just came back from Acorns and Threads, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So make sure another thing to bring me joy, will be hanging that up this weekend on the Greyhound wall. I also spent some time stitching up a little freebie, which is going to be on the website this coming week. And if you get the newsletter, I'll be sure that there's a link in the newsletter to it. So in the next couple days, and if you don't get the newsletter and you want to, you can just sign up, or you can just check the website in the free chart section. Anyway, this is Haunted Hounds because Stephanie Webb from Lindy Stitches was sending me pictures of dogs wearing ghost costumes. And I had said that I love them, but I'm not sure I could get Rye to put something over her head like that without more training time. And so she got me thinking, and I made these little haunted hounds wearing ghost costumes. It's going to be hard to get the camera to focus, so I'll go ahead and put a photograph in here. But I did several different sizes and shapes of dog, hoping that it would be easy for you to maybe see a dog of yours in these and make some adjustments so that you can have your very own little haunted hound. So that's the personal stitching that I've been doing. I've been not having enough coffee lately, so as soon as I finish here, I'm going to have another cup. Next up, Stash Spotlight. I mentioned this last time because as soon as I do finish that Dirty Annie's Greyhound Santa, I am going to stitch this one. This is Betsy Jewitt from the Scarlett House. Brand new, just came out, but look at that Greyhound. That is for sure going to be a Greyhound, and I'm thinking I'm going to do kind of a very low-key color palette on the whole thing. Probably fewer color changes, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm really excited. This one is pretty small. It's only about 6 by 6, so it'll be a nice quick one as soon as I finish the other. And then the other thing I wanted to spotlight, let's see if I can get a photograph here. Got the most recent fabric of the month from xJudesign. This one is called Dove, and I love it because it's a kind of a smoky gray. I do love gray. I love gray. And so I'm always happy to see a gray fabric with some interest to it. And this one, I think, is just beautiful. So I've had my little dove before from her, but this one is just Dove. So I look forward to maybe stitching my new Greyhound sampler on that. All right, World Around. This one is from my own backyard. You'll see the very professional photos. And I chose zinnias because we grew them for the first time this year, and I am absolutely hooked. They're so easy. Even I can grow them. And apart from the fact that Rye likes to eat them, which, by the way, I don't recommend. We looked it up and it's not going to hurt her, but she eats the leaves and they're not, in fact, delicious. They're very bitter. But if you're looking for something bitter, there you go, zinnia leaves. And if you do have organically grown flowers, you can eat the zinnia flowers, although she's never done that. But back to the good things. I thought it was time for me to learn something about these zinnias because I've been growing them in the garden this year and loving every bit of it. These are actually, which I didn't realize, native to South America, Mexico, parts of the southwestern US, and they're just incredibly bright, which now I love. I love that they come in this wild range of colors. You can get them in any color you want. But when the Spanish first encountered these in Mexico, they thought they were so bright that the colors sickened the eye, and that's what they were known as, the flower that sickens the eye. So they have been having very much the opposite effect on me because we are enjoying them, and those bright colors really call to so many of the pollinators that I want to come to my garden. So practically every night that I go out, I see something really enjoying those zinnias. Butterflies, bees, birds, so many great pollinators coming for those beautiful blooms. Now, they were often seen as sort of a poor person's flower because they're very bright, they grow very easily, which means they're cheap. But hopefully we've gotten away from that idea because they're beautiful and they deserve to be appreciated. As I said, they come in a huge range of colors and also sizes. You can get them as short as 4 inches, and they can grow varieties that go up to 4 feet. So whatever your spot, there's a zinnia for you. They love the heat, which isn't surprising considering their native habitats, but it also means that here in the desert we can grow them and they're very happy. Now, they do have other uses apart from their beauty. They are good at repelling garden pests and at attracting things that eat some of those pests. So you get a double impact there, and that's where we started growing them, was around the tomatoes, which they've been very good at protecting our tomatoes. They also have been used variously to heal wounds and prevent inflammation. So I don't know how you would do that. So many of these plants have been used for various things, and I don't have the information on how you would achieve that. But regardless, if your eyes can handle the sickness of these beautiful colors, maybe look at some zinnias for your garden next year. And if I can grow them, frankly, pretty much anybody can. So that is the World Around this week. We have a bonus round of World Around because because every year at this time, we talk about Fat Bear Week. And starting this coming week, October 4th, you can go to explore.org, and I'll put all the info in the notes, but you can vote on which bear has done the best job of packing on the pounds, getting ready for winter. And again, going back to seeking joy, if you need to just go and watch some bears, hear the sound of the river, watch them fishing, there's also a live webcam or highlight reels that you can watch if you need to just take a minute and enjoy some bears eating salmon. So, good options for you. Questions. First off, I still need to report on corn shucking. My little anxiety spiral kind of put me off track on that, so I'm hoping to maybe by next video have a report on all the different methods. But last video I asked about household items that you use for something different, and I got tons of good answers, even some that inspired me to maybe buy a metal version of my useful pasta scooper strainer thing, because you can use it to pull things out of the oven. So yeah, I might have two of those things, which I use not for their intended purpose, but why not? This video, question that I wanted to ask is, what are you doing maybe this weekend, this coming week, that gives you a little bit of joy? Because I think we sometimes have to look for the joy. We have to work for it. We have to make a habit of finding it out. And I've talked about it before. But the negative emotions, they just come. You don't have to encourage them at all. They just pop their heads right up and start speaking. So it's important to look for the things that balance that out. And I just wondered what you're going to do maybe this coming week, hopefully, to give yourself a little bit of joy, be it eat something delicious or have a few minutes outside with your coffee watching the birds or watching the bear video, wearing something that you really like, spending some time with a friend, something like that. So I hope you're getting to do that this coming week. All right, best things. Now, the Jingle Ball is coming. I've mentioned that, and I'll put more details in the newsletter that's coming up because it is almost time for tickets to be sold. I am, for the first time this year, teaching a class, and I had asked about it. The request I had most commonly from people was to teach a Biscornu finishing class, so that is what I'm going to do. Now, I designed a Biscornu, very simple, and I'll put a better picture in here, but I designed it to be both easy and quick to stitch, but also to really work into something that would be easy to finish. And that led me down the path of the candy cane theme, which it's a little bit hard to see here. I used a red thread on the edges, and I'm doing the connecting thread in white so that it does look like a tiny little peppermint twist. But we'll talk more about that if you do decide to take the class. There are two versions. If you do and you get the kit, you'll get enough for two versions, including this one, which is even faster to stitch because you only use one thread. And this is the beautiful candy cane thread that Cottage Garden designed specifically for this kit. So the only 200 skeins of it in the world are in one of those drawers behind me and can be yours if you decide to take the class. So we're going to do two versions of the class, a kitted version for US customers only and a PDF version for internationals, because I'm not shipping the kits outside the US. And also, I'm going to do 2 time slots. So we've got a big meeting coming up next week between all of us. We're trying to organize the class schedule so that we're not having any more overlap than we absolutely have to. So we give people the most options for classes that they can attend. There are some fabulous classes going up, and I'm kind of hoping to take 1 or 2 of them myself, or maybe at least get the PDF from them. So that'll be all in the newsletter as well, and it's been the thing that is most on my mind. Okay, giveaway. Last week, these beautiful threads inspired by the Barbie movie from Thread Gather's Silken Colors. And, oops, so many lovely doll comments from all of you. The winner is Desiree Feister. So Desiree, get in touch with me, let me know your address, and I will get that in the mail to you. Giveaway this time, it's, I think I said earlier, the lovely, or did I? I don't know if I did. Anyway, Paula, the beautiful Paula from Puntini, is designing some pins for our little kits for this Jingle Ball class. And so I've had her on my mind, of course, because we've been texting back and forth. But I also know it's back to school time. Thinking of school always makes me think of ABCs. And so this time we're doing this when I think of the alphabet. And it's really hard to see because to get lights on me, you just get, yeah, so much glare. But this is the entire alphabet. And Paula has done each of these little sets, ABC, with beautiful, beautiful things. Let's see. Ice cream, jellyfish, lotus, mountains. That's a good one to show. Mountain nest, owl. This is the entire set of those. So, what I want you to do is use the word spell in your comments any way you want to. I will pick one winner who gets that whole beautiful set of Paula's alphabet, which is just lovely. She's got such a talent, that lady. And she's just a nice person, which I really appreciate. So, use the word spell in your comments and pick a lucky winner for the next video. That's it for me. I mentioned the Haunted Hounds free design that's going up on the website, and I talked about the Jingle Ball. We've got a little puppy video at the end, and it's been lovely to connect with you this week. I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a very good week, and I will chat with you again in the next video. Bye.